All right, we welcome into the show a return guest has been on a number of times, but I truly didn't expect to have Adam Thielen, former Minnesota Viking wide receiver, current Carolina Panther, back on the show. But Adam, I got to say, man, your loyalty to the Ambassador hot dog brand is unbelievable that you wanted so badly to come on and talk about Ambassador hot dogs that you forced your way back on the show. What's going on, man?
Well, I appreciate being back on the show, but yes, I do. I love to rep Minnesota companies, and Ambassador Hot Dogs is one of those companies that has been around for a long time and really embodied itself in the Minnesota culture. So, it's always good to represent great Minnesota companies.
I am impressed, though. I mean, that is your loyalty to Ambassador Hot Dogs of wanting to do a Goodbye Minnesota tour, and I'm very glad that you have us on it. So we'll talk more about that a little bit at the end. We'll make sure we get in all the plugs for Ambassador. But how you doing, man? You're coming to me here from North Carolina, which is just very weird because I'm in TCO Performance Center. My key code works here, and yours now doesn't. So this is a little strange for us.
Yeah, it's really strange. But yeah, I mean, everything happens so fast that you just don't even have time to react or to think about it. You just figure it out and find a way. But at the same time, as disappointed as I am, or maybe just sad, I guess, that I'm not back with my teammates in my city that I was born and raised and never left. As disappointing as that is, just how everything played out. Couldn't be happier of where I landed. Just from a big picture. I mean, I really believe that God pushed me here and my family here for a reason, and it wasn't just for one reason. It was this organization, this staff, the players in this locker room. I had no idea, just how much talent, and not only that, just how many good guys there are in this locker room, and then in this organization as well. And then a great city that I've just absolutely loved being in. And it's a new adventure for our family, but we're really excited.
So, do you feel like the new kid at school there, or what? I mean, this is like your place. This is the house that Adam Thielen and company built here at TCO Performance Center. Now you're going into a new facility, meeting all new people that you didn't know before. I mean, this is something you haven't really gone through.
Yeah, I haven't gone through. It's weird for sure. And it's been such a blessing though. I almost feel like it added years in my career because it feels like I'm back to rookie year and like just like learning a whole new thing, and it's kind of like a new exciting, refreshing kind of like breath of fresh air to my career. So again, just so very thankful to be around a really young locker room, which is really keeping me young. And I've enjoyed just kind of going to work with these guys. Again, it's completely different. I just know the organization and the team so well in Minnesota that I didn't have to think about that. But here I'm learning new people every single day. It's like the other day, it's like I haven't even met really, the trainer that I'm going to work with, as far as who do I go to if I'm a little sore, I need a stretch, or I need some recovery stuff, and just trying to figure out my process there. But at the same time, it's been really fun to meet a lot of new people and just really good
I
people.
mean, just along those lines, it's also been quite some time since you played with a young quarterback. That would have been a young Teddy Bridgewater, who is now like an old veteran in the league. So we get old fast. But having the number one overall pick there, I feel like this is going to be an interesting experience for you. And you get to be somebody that Bryce Young is going to lean on.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be an experience that I'm gonna have to lean on some of that past experience with when Teddy was drafted in the first round. But at the same time, it's really exciting just because of how much talent he has, and not only talent on the field and what he's proven in college, but just the amount of respect and love that he has from his teammates and past coaches, of what type of person he is off the field and the leader he is. I just feel like that's an opportunity to have success at the next level, and I'm excited to be a part of his journey, and I can't wait till he gets
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I definitely think having an experienced receiver like yourself should be huge for a young quarterback. But obviously, you're here to share our feelings about no longer answering my questions in the locker room, which I'm sure you're very broken up about. But you know, when you think about your Viking career, like I'm sure I know you don't sit around and go, "How about me?" But you're always kind of next play, next game, whatever. But now that it's on to the next chapter and you go to Football Reference and your name is right there with Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Anthony Carter, Jake Reed, as far as the top 5 receivers in receiving yards. I mean, I always think about, like, of course, everyone talks about you're from Minnesota. I don't know if anyone's heard that before, but you are. But like, what does that mean to you now that you've probably had some time to reflect a little bit on that, to have your name with the all-time receiver greats of the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, I'm probably gonna give you the same answer that I've given you for 10 years, but yeah, honestly, everything's happened so fast, and I just have so much more to prove, and I got a whole new organization and staff to show what I can do on the field, and so I just haven't had time to even think about it, and I think when I'm retired and I'm able to sit back and look at it, yeah, it'll be something that I'll look at, but right now I'm just trying to get better, and I enjoy so much every day waking up and having the opportunity to go to work and to get better. It's been really fun, and it's a whole different scenery. I mean, I'm practicing right now, and I'm looking at downtown Charlotte. It's a lot different view than TCO Performance Center. So, I think it's been really fun to just try to get better. And there's so many things that I want to work on and get better at, and I just feel like I still got a lot of ball left in me. So I got to go out there now and prove it every single day because these coaches, this organization hasn't seen me play football. So I got to go out there and give it my best every day.
Okay, so you're always leaving the stats analysis to the nerds like me. I get it. I get it. But I did want to talk to you about my experience covering you because when I first got here was 2016. And I remember a bunch of reporters talking to you and me thinking like, okay, you know, the Minnesota guy, all the reporters would talk to him, but he only had a few catches last year, whatever. And it was really the Texans game in 2016 where you ran a double move on the guy, got the scored a touchdown from Bradford, where it sort of went, oh, this is like really legit. And so then I did my classic, did you know Adam Thielen went to Mankato feature and everything else. You were very patient with me with that and ended up telling that story about 300 times in 2017. But I guess I wonder what you remember about finally reaching that point where like you were the guy because it took so long to get there, like practice squads and special teams and all those things, kind of what that was like for you to have that big breakout game and show like I'm here.
Well, first of all, that next day, my first son was born. So that's a game that sticks out to me just because I'll never forget that. And my wife was ready to obviously ready to pop at any second during that game, and then to be able to play it, have probably my first big game, and then my son born the next day was a really cool memory. But yeah, I remember going into that season. I believe that was the year that we went to Cincinnati as a joint practice. And I remember Norv Turner, if I'm remembering this right, Norv Turner came up to me before that and said, "Hey, you better have a good week, otherwise they're going to cut you." And I'll never forget that because I just put on a different mindset that week in practice, and then in that game had a couple big catches and really gave me the opportunity to play receiver, and then was able to kind of each week kind of get a bigger role by proving it on the field, and that experience I still take with me to this day, and I've taken really every year of my career of hey, you have to prove it every single day, and then when you do that then you get more opportunity, and then you prove it some more, and you get more opportunity. So, I like I said, when I'm out there at the practice field right now, every rep, I'm trying to prove something so that I get more opportunity and that I can help my teammates get better and ultimately help us win football
Yeah, I
games.
feel like I learned a lot from you about how people make it in this league. Like, not just as an undrafted free agent, but just in general, like how a first round pick stays in this league. And one of those things is focusing on the future and maybe not spending too much time looking at your own accolades and things like that. But I also think, too, that it's also route running, man. Like, I would love to hear from you, and you can tell me all your secrets now that you're with another team. Uh, I just would love to hear from you how you developed this, because the Vikings drafted Jordan Addison. I'm sure you saw his thing is route running. And I feel like no matter what it is for your 40 or whatever else, the details of the route running is what separates guys who make it and guys who don't. How did you master that craft over a couple of years to be ready for that opportunity when it came?
Well, and there's a lot of things. I think there's a lot of people that helped in that along the way. You know, whether you go back to high school, college, some of the coaches I've had, and then just kind of their impact in helping me become a better receiver, a better player, a better teammate. And then you kind of just learn from experience. You learn from trial and error, and you learn from the guys next to you. One of our coaches said something that really stuck with me. He said the best teachers are the guys next to you, because you get to watch them do it, and you get to see what they did that worked and what they did that didn't work, and then you get to apply that to your game. And I guess I never thought of it like that before, but I thought it was a great point, and it's something I've done my whole career. I've watched guys, whether they were an undrafted guy, a first round pick. I've watched every rep of theirs, and I've said, "Hey, I like that. I'm gonna use that in my game." Or, "Oh, maybe that's something I need to take away from my game because that didn't work out that great." And so I continue to do that to this day. But I think it's funny when people start talking about route running, and I think a lot of young guys get this misconstrued. Is they think, "Oh, um, I got to be so detailed and precise on this route running." But I think route running becomes an art, and it becomes an art in the fact that you need to make everything look fast and the same. So every route, with your stem, with your release, it's got to look the same as other routes. Otherwise, it's just too easy for a defender to see you. And if you don't put speed on it, which I think guys don't understand, if you don't run full speed on every route, guys will just they'll be able to sit on it, and they'll know that you're not running deep, and they know that you're trying to set them up and things like that. So I just think that there is a little bit of art to it, and I think it's something that I really enjoy. Like I said before, I get excited to wake up in the morning. I'm waking up before my alarm goes off in year 11 because I can't wait to go run routes on air in phase 2 of OTAs. And I love watching guys develop and see them getting better, and then me being able to work on some things that I know I need to work on.
It also seems like, too, that knowing the exact route depths is a thing that you almost like can't talk about enough, because if you're off by even a little bit, it's just going to throw everything off. I am curious about your process, though. You're joining a new team, but you've gone through this a million times of, oh, the Vikings have a new offensive coordinator. Maybe he resigned. Maybe he got another job. Hard to say. But you've gone through that a bunch of different times. I mean, what is that like to learn a new offense, learn all those details, learn all those route depths? It seems like that must take forever.
It does take a long time. There's so many little details. Even today, run a route that I've run, you know, uh, I don't know, 50 to 100 times in a game, and I did it a certain way, and they kind of coached me up, and I say that to say every system, every coach likes the same route, maybe that every team runs, but they like it run a little different. And at the end of the day, all that matters is that you, the offense coordinator, and the quarterback are on the same page. And so I have to adjust and run that route a little different than I've ever ran it before and had success running. But it doesn't matter if you're not on the same page. So I now have to run that a little differently, and that's exciting for me. I really enjoy learning the little things, that the why behind why coaches want it done a certain way, and that's really cool. It's been fun to learn a new offense, a new system that's kind of a mix of some different systems I've been in. So it's been really fun. And then being around different quarterbacks, like I said, a quarterback might want you to do it a little bit differently, and kind of hearing why behind that has been really
Yeah, I
fun.
remember you talked about Teddy kind of helping you in 2017 understand Case Keenum's perspective to get on the same page with him. It's a fascinating art, man, and I can't say how much I appreciate all the years of you teaching us football. You know, whether it's press conferences or you were our media good guy one year, but could have been every single year. But you're just always available, always interested in talking ball. So I always appreciate that. But I did want to ask you the one more question about that is just what did we have wrong? Like you can tell me now. Like who did we underrate? Who were we? What were we wrong about as the media when you were covered? I'm sure you had some takes.
Oh man. Well, I don't know if I was answering your question, but I think everyone's been a little bit wrong about KJ. I just think that he is a wide receiver one in this league, and I think that he has so much talent, and so much. I think his attitude, his effort, his the way that he approaches every single day, his mindset is the one of the best I've ever been around. And great teammate, locker room guy, hardest worker every single day. Cares so much about his teammates and himself getting better every single day. I just think that he gets disrespected sometimes, and I don't think it's deservingly so. And I can't wait for him to have a big year.
I completely agree with you on that. So maybe I'm not wrong about that. But even his college coach, when he first got drafted, said, "Do not doubt this guy. He's going to make the team. He's going to surprise everybody." And he was exactly right. So look, you could still they can ship you Ambassador hot dogs, right? That you could still get them. I mean, I also want to say to Ambassador hot dogs, can't tell them how much I appreciate over the years. We would always get to dig together, do one of these, talk about food and things like that. So it's cool that we could do one more. I guess you're gonna miss them, or are you gonna still get your hands on some Ambassador hot dogs?
Well, that's the great thing is I'll be back in Minnesota for the summer, and there's no better time to have ambassador hot dogs than in the summer in Minnesota. Campfire season, grilling season. My boys like to throw them on the marshmallow sticks and roast them over the campfire, which brings back great memories from being in growing up in northern Minnesota. So it's always great to represent a great Minnesota company that kind of embodies that Minnesota culture. And I might have a little grill out here in Charlotte for the receivers, and I might bring back some ambassador hot dogs to kind of start that off the right way. So I'm excited about
That's
that.
perfect. Thanks so much for doing this again, man. And just can't say enough. Best of luck to you and the family and everything else down there. I think it'll be very interesting to kind of watch from afar with the number one draft pick there as you guys kind of build around him. So, best of luck, man, and appreciate everything through all the years, all the features you let us write about you, all the times that we bugged you about different football things. Just can't thank you enough for all that. Thanks again, man.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, man. You've been awesome. I remembered when we started talking about this call. I remembered talking about the hot dogs last year, and it was a pretty fun conversation. So I appreciate all you've done, and excited to see you cover the Vikings for a long time. So good luck with everything, and go stop by Cub Foods and get some Ambassador hot dogs.
All right, get in one more there. Thanks again, Adam.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, man.